People listen to. Listen. How are we opening? We don't want to say hello. Good morning, Vietnam. Just open start. Yeah.
Hello, friendos. Northridge Fellowship Life Podcast here. It is Thursday, June 16th. Good to be alive. With me, I got Mike and Greg. G-R-E-double-G.
Yep.
What's up?
What's up?
How
Got
you
a whole
doing?
week
Hey,
to
nice
go.
shirt.
Thank you.
What are those? Those are new. It
This
looks
is a
new.
new.
Did you,
If you walk
Nothing on the back.
in the parade,
they should have put something on
Rock
the
and
back
Rogers
because
parade.
people,
Well,
as
yeah.
you're walking away, people can
yeah,
see
it's
Yeah.
too
it
late.
too.
I'm sure I'll get something.
Like your
put on
phone
my
number or
back.
something on the back.
Yeah, I'll put Mike's phone number.
So only if you're walking in the
If
parade?
you're in the parade, if you're walking with the float, or I don't think we're having people ride on the float this year. Could be wrong, but I think walking, passing out stuff along the parade, which is Saturday, or if you're helping in the building, hosting in the building, we have water stations that we set up because the parade starts in our parking lot. Everyone lines up here. So between like 9:30 and noon, our parking lot, it's just awesome. It's all kinds of different groups with their parade floats and getting ready. And I love that. This is one of my favorite days of the year, honestly. I just love to walk around, see everyone, invite them inside, tell them there's restrooms, there's air conditioning, we'll have coffee. But we set up water stations at the end of like at each entry door just so people could fill up water, stuff like that. And it's supposed to be a nice day. Earlier in the week, it was tracking to be like hot
Yeah.
and sunny. But this morning when I looked, it looks like Saturday is going to be like high of 83 and partly cloudy. So kind of probably like today a little bit.
How many floats are in the? Do you know?
I don't, but we are in position number 4.
Oh,
Ooh, that's the highest I think we've ever
Yeah,
been.
so we go
Top 5.
pretty quick. But if you want to walk or you want to ride in the float, or if you want to help in the building, like we just have building hosts, people in here just to direct people where restrooms are, just to make them feel welcome, that sort of thing.
We still need a bunch of people.
We still need people.
So go to the website
Yep.
or use the Church Center app.
Yeah.
Click on the parade, Rogers, Rock and Rogers needs list.
Yeah.
And we'll get to some more of that later.
Yeah.
But let's start with what you guys had.
How come everything's going so slow, man?
What do you mean? What's going
My,
slow?
my internet, my computer, something's
My
slow.
computer's just
Yeah.
fine.
User error.
User error.
This is my background music if I need to concentrate and work. How to Train Your Dragon.
Motions.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Seriously, it's good. Instrumental.
This is just
You and Justin J.
Who's that? Jorger?
Jay Jorger. Is that-
Justin J. Jorger?
He also likes movie soundtrack.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I
He
remember
listens to music. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's in our small group. I didn't know.
Oh.
He doesn't tell me anything.
So-
What's that? Oh, you have there's cameras in the church?
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at that. You have like Greg's computer has all the cameras.
Could be why it's running slow.
That's exactly why I was running slow. I didn't realize it was open.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So do you watch that when you're at home?
I could, I guess.
At night, you can set motion alarms. So, like, if they set like a motion goes off, then it'll alert you, notification.
So you can see when Andy's coming and going from work?
Yep.
Yeah.
Coming in at 1 in the morning.
A little late, huh?
So Andy gave us
Either
permission.
that or really early.
Andy gave us permission to do 10 questions. So we just copied all the ones he did last week.
doing
Yeah, I
yours?
guess they're gonna, grill me because I'm the host.
Get
and
to
I
know
never-
Andy.
Where are they? Get to know Andy, yeah.
We're on a text. See, we're so unorganized.
It's on text. Oh yeah.
I tell you, when
What
I
was
do it, I'm ready.
No, you are. That's why it's your podcast and we're just here.
It's not
Hold
my
microphones.
Yes. Okay.
All right. How do you want to do it?
You want to
What,
start?
every
this,
other?
this was
Oh,
your, yeah.
this
you
was
go.
mine,
Kick it
so I'll
off with number
start.
10.
Okay.
I like this one, and I have some input after Andy gives his answer.
Okay.
He'll have input after every.
I wish. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Andy's top 10. 10.
Number 10.
David Letterman had the daily top 10 list. Do you remember
Yes.
that? It was from
Yep.
somewhere in Iowa. And growing up, people were either Team Letterman or Team Leno,
Okay.
or maybe even
Is there a question?
Carson. So who's your favorite comedian?
Who's my favorite comedian?
Yeah.
Okay, that went off a different route than I thought.
Who's your favorite? It doesn't have to be Leno or Letterman.
You'll
I'm
notice
just
a
saying.
theme.
That
in some of
was
these.
Yeah.
a really big jump from David Letterman top 10 to
get used to the
who's
big
your favorite.
jumps.
Yeah, get rid of it. Get used to them. The top 10.
All right.
So
Who's my favorite comedian? Oh my goodness.
Don't say Jeff Dunham.
The ventriloquist guy. Yeah, it's hard because like, why do I like certain people?
You seem like a Carrot Top guy.
I laugh at some people I shouldn't be laughing at, like Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's probably
Funny is funny, man. I mean, there's things that are inappropriate,
yeah.
but yeah, it's okay to laugh sometimes at things you shouldn't laugh at.
Yeah, I'll probably say Dave.
I laugh
even
when my
though
feet when my kids get hurt sometimes. Is that
Yeah.
inappropriate?
Right. See?
Yeah.
They're comedians.
Pratfall.
Yeah. Well, who's the other guy that you
No, this is yours.
I know.
You can't ask him.
But you were gonna give your input. Who's your favorite
Okay.
comedian? I know who yours is.
Who's?
I can't think of his name. The one that Jeremy.
Nate Bargatze?
Yeah, Nate Bargatze.
He's probably my current
Yeah.
favorite.
I like him.
I like him. He's really funny. He's funny without being inappropriate, which I think
Right.
is way more
It
difficult.
used to be Jim Gaffigan, who was also always the king of not, heavy swearing.
Brian Regan.
Nah.
Another one. Nah, you're not Regan.
never-
No,
huge on
I think he's
Brian Regan.
corny.
Yeah. The faces,
Yeah.
the facial expressions kind of
Yeah, he does this.
Yeah. I don't like that stuff.
Kind of does this thing.
He
with his
he
shoulders.
talks like he knows he thinks he's funny.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
funny. He could be funny.
Although Dave Chappelle does his thing.
Yeah.
His mic on his
He
leg.
laughs. Yeah, he does that. Turns around and walks back. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Nate Bargatze I like, but that's the guy I never even knew about until like a year and a half ago or so,
Right.
maybe, with Jeremy Peterson.
And then he became a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. All time, it's between. I go back and forth between Mitch Hedberg and Norm Macdonald.
That's right.
No
So,
McDonald.
and they both can. Norm Macdonald can just go way off the rails inappropriate, which is crazy because he'll be like squeaky clean for a whole set, and then all of a sudden just gets
A whole
10
bit
minutes
where
in.
he
Yeah, he
rants
just gets
and he swears.
really inappropriate. But
you-
where I loved him were like, I mean, he's so smart off the cuff, like in talk shows or something like that. He was hilarious.
It's kind of like music and bands to me. It's like I like certain
No, we'll get to that.
sets and
No,
certain.
no.
I'm not talking about bands. I'm talking about comedians. Like some comedian specials, I like.
Yeah.
Other specials that they have, I
Yeah.
don't like. You know, like Ronnie Chang has a really hilarious one.
Yeah,
Joe Coy has one. His
Yeah.
other two are not that great.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
Dave Chappelle's your guy.
I'll just say Dave.
yeah.
I like
Chappelle's up there, too.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah,
He's good.
He
But he's
gets
Italian.
he gets a little too.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
You
know.
gotta stick with the family, huh?
Yeah, you gotta stick with it. You know.
Yeah, Stella.
But here's where I said I have input is on the Leno Letterman thing.
Yeah,
Were
Okay,
you Leno or Letterman? Which team were you?
Leno.
I probably was Letterman.
I'm Letterman.
Yeah.
Letterman is just, to me, I grew up watching Johnny Carson. My dad would always watch him, and then young.
I think this is
Carson
this
was
is like
awesome.
Vampire Werewolf.
Right, yeah. But Letterman was like border. To me, he walked that line between genius and absurd like perfectly. He's really an intelligent guy, but then loved just stupid, silly stuff that just you could tell it was stuff he thought was funny.
Yeah.
So Leno, I think, was like the safe,
Yeah.
just do the obvious, safe kind of joke, which is, I mean, Leno was funny. I would watch it. But I feel like someone summarized them two this way. People watch Jay Leno for the guest. People watch Dave Letterman for Dave Letterman, like no matter who's on. And I agree with that. And I told Jordan early on in our marriage, I said, if you want to understand me better, watch David Letterman. And so she did. It was hard. She doesn't stay up late, but she watched Letterman for like a week. And then one morning, she comes out and she's crying. She's like, I'm sorry. I had no idea I got you all wrong, and then she handed me divorce papers.
Yeah, that happens. That happens.
Just kidding.
I think the
still
best
married.
one is he's on currently late. The dude from Saturday Night Live, Jimmy Fallon.
Fallon?
Oh,
Jimmy
really?
Fallon. I think he is
No, get out of here.
So here's the
for
thing.
late night talk shows.
I think Letterman was funnier, but I liked Leno more. Letterman just seemed too full of himself.
Crotchety old man.
I like Leno. I know. I like Leno's
Yeah.
garage. Watching Jay Leno's garage.
Oh.
Leno just seems like a nice, good enough dude.
Yeah. No, he seemed.
you
Everyone
ever
says he's
watched
super nice.
My Next Guest Needs an Introduction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Letterman? It's like he's doing interviews he wants to do, and
Right.
they're long. It's like an
Well,
hour long.
and honestly, that's why I like Fallon is because he still is a fan of the people he has on.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
some
he
of his
loves
bits that
everybody.
he does is really funny, like the randomized song generator thing.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
He does funny stuff.
and he's just such a
He's
fanboy.
super talented.
He's an overall. He's just an entertainer.
Yeah, and he's a goof.
Like
he's a
he's-
goof, and he loves. You could see him just gushing over the guests he
Yeah.
had on, and I think that's still cool because it's so easy. I'm sure to just get, what is it?
Full of yourself.
No, just like passe about you're a celebrity. You're having celebrities on, and
Yeah.
just doing the corporate thing where you have to have this person on so they can promote something.
Yeah.
But you can tell he's still a fan of the guys, people that he has on. Anyway,
All right. One Dave Chappelle. Next. So that I wrote that question, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see all the unoriginal questions are from
Greg.
Yeah.
Number 9.
number 9.
9. The German word.
That sounds
for no.
familiar.
Yeah, it's a good question. I thought it was a good question. That's why I included this. What is
It
something
is a
that
good
is hard
question.
for you to say no to, Andy?
Something
is a good
hard for me
Schultz.
to say no to. Well, if it's, it used to be Mountain Dew, but have since changed my diet, and I think I've only had 2 cans of Mountain Dew this whole week.
Yikes.
Nice.
No wonder you've been tired all week.
I have kind of been tired. Yesterday I had a
Were you?
headache.
I was joking. Okay.
I don't know if it was, I don't know if it was caffeine, lack of caffeine or what, but I'm also a people pleaser, and so similar to what Mike said last week, he feels guilty for saying no when people ask him to do stuff. Like somebody called me last week about a mission trip this winter, and it's like, I have to say no, but I felt terrible about it. But it's in me to just say yes to, especially here at church when people ask me to do stuff. It's like, I don't know.
So Andy and I hang out every day because if one calls the other and asks if they want to do something, the
They
other
say
can't
no.
say
It's
no.
like, yeah.
The other can't say no. So then we
It's about
hang.
who asks first.
Yeah.
Just don't stop asking me, would you? I don't want to golf anymore.
Yes, you do.
Here's the thing.
I
if
don't
you-
want to golf either, but I have to.
Well, that's your.
I want to golf when
Fault
I'm
for
not
pain.
golfing.
Yeah.
And when I'm golfing, I don't want to golf.
I think when you
'Cause I'm
if
so
you
angry at
tell Andy what to do, then he'll say no.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I have a hard time with people
you
wanting
tell
to
me I
control
have to do something,
Yeah.
I immediately like what? No, no.
Yeah.
Not gonna.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, you're kind of that way too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you ask me, I can't say no.
Yeah.
All right. This was one of mine.
It's a good one. Actually, the next one's a really good one. The next one's
Yeah.
great.
Hey,
Do you want to do
you're
this one?
you're 8.
All right,
You're
I'll
the
do this
even
one.
guy. I'm the odd one.
Well, I want to do 5. That was
Okay,
mine.
we'll skip there, but
All
this
right.
is you just go in order.
Okay. What's 8? What's the worst thing you actually ate that you spent money on?
The worst thing I ever ate that I spent money on.
Yeah. So it could have been like a dare.
See, I was going. Andy goes out, or at least used to go out a lot, and knows a lot of restaurants. And maybe something was hyped for you, or someone said, "Oh, you got to try this; it's so good,"
Yeah.
and you pay for it, and it was awful.
It's a good question. Because I try not to go to
Like
those.
Cane's.
Cane's isn't
Cane's
bad.
is not bad. It's way over it. It's not worth that line. I'm telling you that.
So the first time I had Cane's,
Way overrated.
because I was sick of waiting for it in line in Maple Grove. I had it last time I went to Hawaii.
There's one in
We're in Waikiki.
there's one in Brooklyn Park. We talked about this.
We
I
talked
think.
Yeah.
about this.
Okay.
It's not. It's way overrated.
Yeah.
So you heard of Benihana, right?
Yeah.
There's a knockoff restaurant of Benihana called Osaka,
Oh yeah,
and I'm not a
Plymouth,
fan.
55.
Well, the only one that I've been to is in Bloomington, and
Lives up to its name, Osaka.
Osaka.
Oh no, the one in Plymouth's not Osaka. That's Kobe.
That's Yeah.
I should know better.
Yeah. No, the Osaka, which is I think a city in Japan.
Yeah.
It sets itself up just like Benihana, but it's it's expensive. My aunt used to love it cheaper. It's not, and the rice was never good. The quality of the meat that they used was good. The sauces were crap.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Osaka.
Well, they're never going to be
But
a
have
sponsor.
you ever paid to go there?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right,
Qualifies.
this
I bought
next-
lunch for my aunt for
Oh, this is
a good one right
this
here.
was one original.
Yeah, this is very original.
I
very
didn't
good.
copy from Andy.
This is deep.
This is 7?
This is
Number
deep
7.
Cut. This cuts this touches a lot of things.
Yeah,
Very
actually-
local angle.
Yeah, this is there's a lot to unpack here.
what's in the
It's
box.
a little wordy.
Oh,
It's okay. Number 7. 90s TV show Seventh Heaven starred Ely, Minnesota native Jessica Biel,
yeah.
who was married to Justin Timberlake.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
He acts like he doesn't know.
I don't have a favorite Justin Timberlake
What is your
song.
favorite Justin Timberlake song?
No going ahead of us. Keep the questions, please.
I know Greg well enough.
Yeah.
So probably when he was not just so. Oh, I don't know. I don't even really know.
I was gonna say or In Sync.
I don't really even know. There was one on a commercial. I'll just say the one because I don't really know Justin Timberlake's songs. There was one on a commercial, and the only reason I know is because it played during the MLB streaming service like all the time. I can't think of it.
Apologize.
I have no idea.
That's not Justin
That's not
Timberlake. is it?
Timberlake?
No.
Who is that?
The Apologize song? That's who is that?
That's
Can't
not.
think of him.
He doesn't
No,
sing
it's
that?
a band. It's like a group. Oh man, who is that? I'll tell you my favorite JT song is the one he does with Chris Stapleton. Say
Right
say
here.
something.
Song by Timberland.
That's Timberland. That's not the same person
Oh,
as
that's
Justin Timberlake. That's the guy that makes the boots.
Oh.
He makes the shoes, Timberland.
I'm guessing the.
How about Bye Bye Bye? That was a
Yeah,
good instinct
I'm
song.
guessing Say Something is probably pretty good because I don't mind Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, I actually like that song.
It's
Listened
kind
to it
of
yesterday.
more rock and more, you know.
I'm not a country fan, but Chris Stapleton's great. I love him. Got more soul and
What was
bluesy
there was
stuff.
another In Sync song that wasn't too bad.
This is right up. This is down Jordan's lane,
Oh, I
man.
wish I
Jordan
knew
was
more.
an NSYNC fan. Sometimes I make her mad by saying Justin Timberlake was in the Backstreet Boys, and then she gets all upset.
My brother was a big fan of both of those. I have no idea.
Well, I liked how he got to the question.
Okay, so
All
what was
right.
your favorite episode of Seventh Heaven then? I never saw one episode. Did you guys watch that show?
I knew she was from Minnesota. I didn't know she was from
she
Ely.
born in Ely. I don't know how long she
Why don't
lived
they
there.
have like a sign up for
Because
there?
they already have one for Brad Anderson.
They do?
No.
Who's Brad Anderson?
Oh, Brad.
Oh, Brad Anderson. Gotcha. I know
sure.
Brad Anderson.
He's
Yeah.
over there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd have.
He's from Ely?
Yeah.
Oh, my grandparents grew up from Babbitt.
Is Quit Playing Games with My Heart Backstreet? That sounds like
Might
Backstreet.
as well be.
No,
But they're the same.
That's Backstreet.
They're the same thing. Let's be honest.
I don't know.
Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, same thing.
Baseball uses numbers to identify the 9 positions on the field. The number 6 is used to identify the shortstop position. Who is your favorite shortstop of all time?
That's a good question.
Carlos Correa.
Yeah,
Greg
Nope.
Gagne.
Greg Gagne, third base.
third base. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Gary Gaetti.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, learn some baseball, Greg.
They're,
Learn some
they're the
baseball.
same guy to me. Same person. I was a kid in Southern California watching these guys. Who are these guys playing indoors on carpet? What is this? Is this baseball?
I have a terrible memory for like selective memory.
Honestly, I was trying to think of like all-time shortstops, and all of a sudden I couldn't think of anyone.
Cal Ripken,
Yeah, I was never a big Cal Ripken fan. I thought he was really overrated.
Alex Rodriguez.
A-Rod.
Hate A-Rod.
I know that's a hard
Can't
one to
stand
say a favorite for anything. But
What did Steve
he
Sachs play?
good.
Was he second or
second
short?
base?
Barry Larkin.
Oh,
Barry Larkin was great, but I
that's a good
disliked
one.
him because they were really good and they beat the Dodgers a lot.
Don't like Jeter.
Jeter is the most overrated player of all time. I said it. Don't at
wow.
me. Don't at me.
really?
If he was not a New York Yankee, like he'd be just a
Average
Oh
guy.
yeah, he was a good player. No, he was a good player. But people were upset he wasn't unanimous Hall of Fame. It's like, give me a break. Give me a break.
Ozzie Newsome.
Ozzie
Ozzie
Smith.
Smith?
Ozzie Smith.
That's who I'm thinking. Like he's
Ozzie
gotta be
Newsome, a football player.
Ozzie Newsome was a football player.
Yeah.
Now GM of the
Yeah.
Ravens, right?
That's right. Yeah. Well, he played shortstop in Little League.
Yeah,
so,
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ozzie Smith is, he's a great fielder. Wasn't, an amazing hitter.
Stole a lot of bases. So this got me thinking though, because Hall of Fame guys could be a terrible defensive player, but if they have good offensive numbers, they're like, oh yeah, he's a lock for Hall of Fame. But why isn't certain positions like shortstop or catcher? I would even argue like center field. Those are very important defensive positions,
Yeah.
and that tends to get overlooked. Because in my mind, Andy hasn't even answered yet. My opinion, at least in our lifetime, I think the greatest defensive shortstop was, oh my goodness, I'm trying to blank.
He was good.
Cleveland Indians, 90s.
Francisco.
No.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Alonzo.
Omar Vizquel.
Omar Vizquel.
Yes,
Yeah.
Vizquel.
Did you
Did
even
you
know?
pull that out, or you're just that good
You're
at
just
repeating
listening to me.
what Andy said? Omar Vizquel.
Yeah.
To me, is like the best defensive shortstop.
Yeah,
so
he
it's
was
like
pretty
to me he should be in the Hall of Fame. And this was one that was been
What
an
is his
argument the
career
last couple of
batting
years.
average, though?
See,
It's like-
that's what people look at.
It's like 240.
But if a guy's a career 315 hitter and hits, averages 30
Sure.
homers a game or a year, it's like, oh yeah, lock Hall of Fame. But he could be the worst defensive
But see,
player.
they make
or a
huge
DH.
arguments about right. They make huge arguments
Right.
about whether or not full-time DH people should get
Yeah, but so many of them are.
yeah.
Like Ortiz, I know he played some first, but he's pretty much DH.
So somebody who
But
just
I would
flashes,
never argue that David Ortiz shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Or Edgar Martinez. He was a DH pretty much his whole career.
Yeah.
But he's a Hall of Famer just because he's one of the best hitters of his generation. And Omar Vizquel was such a good defensive shortstop. To me, it's like he changed games on the field.
Yeah.
And to me, that's equally as valid as if he was a 300 hitter.
I think growing up, collecting baseball cards, there were certain cards that I was really excited to get. Barry Larkin was one of those.
Yeah.
And so I'll probably say, even back before then, Robin Yount was another
Nice
one.
pull, yeah.
But today, I'll say something today. Like he's not playing currently right now, but Fernando Tatis is one of the most exciting players to watch.
Oh, yeah. He's super
And when he's on the field, the whole game is better. He's not the greatest fielder, or his arm. Yeah, in the field, he's not great.
That's why they've been moving him around.
Right. They want to
Try
move
him
him
in
to
the
the
outfield.
outfield.
Yeah.
But man, he's just so dynamic and exciting and fun to watch.
All right, I'll do the next one, then you
Had
can
a
do
little
the next
setback,
two.
too. He's supposed to be coming back soon, but
Yeah, they pushed it back a little bit, didn't they?
I'll do two in a row, and then you can do two in a row.
all right.
Okay. I don't know if you know this, Andy, but a guitar has 5 strings.
Wrong.
Well, last time I checked, does it have 6?
6.
Why didn't you correct that?
Because I didn't want you to call me unoriginal.
Okay.
I thought that was an original question.
Some basses have 5 strings.
Most
That
have
is
4.
correct.
Some basses have 5 strings. Didn't know if you knew that,
A
Greg.
banjo some
Yep.
banjos have
Hey,
5
Yep.
strings.
If you play the guitar hard enough, then it'll be 5 strings.
Exactly. Exactly.
Some- Sometimes yours has
happens
5
a lot.
strings.
Yeah.
Okay.
One's just for decoration.
We'll edit that out
This is starting
post-production.
well.
Post-production, we'll edit that out.
It's on the internet forever.
If you weren't a worship pastor, what would you do for work?
Oh. There was always kind of a thought about being a teacher. Like high school. I couldn't be a teacher. I'm not smart enough to teach in college or anything like that, but the conversations you'd have with college students probably be more interesting.
Yeah.
But, having been a youth pastor for so many years and enjoying working with teenagers, I could see, being a teacher.
Me too. That's my common answer for that.
Teacher.
Yep. Yep. I was going to say you chose ministry for the money instead of teaching. We got a couple of high paying options
Well,
here.
I think maybe he didn't choose teaching because of the hours. Can you imagine getting up at 7:30 to go to school? I don't think that would happen.
Yeah. No. Could you do that?
Maybe
for a
night
career?
school. Could you do night?
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
all
night classes, community college, night
it's all a
classes.
matter of just conditioning.
Yeah. How long would it take for you to condition yourself? If someone said, "Hey, I got a teaching job for you, starts next week," could you do it? You got to be up every morning. You got to be on campus at 7:30.
Like if this job went away, like if and I'd probably figure it out.
Ben comes marching in here as he
fires me.
often does, and just in a tirade.
That all
Says,
boring.
"Listen, Schultz," slams the table. "You're out of here. I'm reassigning you
Reassigning.
to, I don't know, somewhere you would hate to go, like North Canada, somewhere up there.
Yeah,
And you're going to teach,
Vermont.
yeah, Vermont, yeah. Let's say Vermont.
I mean, I'm sure it's pretty and everything.
You're going to teach second grade.
A lot of good syrup there.
Yeah.
We have that here, though, right?
Canada.
Yeah, but we have
We have syrup here.
We can get syrup at the grocery store.
Right, they have down the street.
We
in
have
Cub.
we have log
You have to
cabin
go to
here.
Vermont to do
We have
that.
log cabin.
Yeah, yeah. So,
And,
what would you? Okay, you did seminary. You've done, you've done ministry
Yeah.
work. Your education background originally was in more like law enforcement, right? And then you ended up being an insurance adjuster.
Right.
So if you couldn't do
It's a
any of
weird
those,
path.
if you couldn't
very
do any of those
conventional.
three,
I mean, you've heard that story 1,000 times,
Yeah.
right? I mean, come on.
if you couldn't do any of those three things, what would it be? Something practical, not like I'd be a Hollywood star.
Yeah, right.
And,
Be a voiceover.
Do voiceover work.
Be a fishing guide in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I would totally do that.
Yeah, I don't know that. I know you look. You wish you knew what you when you were younger. And there's so many jobs now that didn't exist when we were kids.
Well, we're at the age of like the midlife crisis thing, and you're already talking about getting a Corvette. So
That's true.
you might as well
true.
change your career.
Yeah,
Well, if you're going to get a poor man's supercar, you got to
that's right.
change your career
You do.
to get it.
That's not my interview.
Oh, Clinton Walker said Roy Smalley for the shortstop. I wasn't looking at this. Yeah,
Roy Smalley. Wait, I thought he played second
Can't
base.
stand him as a commentator, though.
I saw him walking through the Delta or whatever that seating area is. Anyway, where you can walk behind the press box and stuff. He came walking out one time. Yeah.
That's probably what I would do. Well, not baseball. I don't know how I got on this.
I'd love to
In
be-
my head, I was thinking of some cars.
Yeah.
There's shows now where they just review cars,
Yeah.
and like I think that would be so much fun. Just drive around reviewing cars, writing for Motor Trend magazine.
You could do that on
That
your
would
You
be
could
awesome.
just something like that. It's cool.
You can do that.
You
and
could
just
do that on
upload
YouTube.
it to
But
YouTube.
the problem
You start
is,
your own
how do you
YouTube
get
channel.
access to the cars?
You just go up to the Tesla dealership and
just
say,
"Hey, can I have a car?"
I'm going to test drive this baby, and I'm going to give you a review."
Yeah.
And I think you got a hookup at Tesla.
I got 2 followers.
Yeah,
I
you
got
gotta-
Andy and Greg, and they'll watch it. So
Yeah.
I'm sure
but
they would
you,
do
you
it.
gotta I mean, just text Elon and
Yeah,
say, "Hey, bud."
that's true. I'll let Zach know.
Yep.
All right. But yeah, that's what I would do. To just drive around, travel, or like what was it? And who's that guy? Oh, to Parts Unknown.
Anthony
Yeah.
Bourdain.
Anthony
Anthony
Yeah.
Bourdain. You see, that would be
Just
sweet.
flew over. He just flew around, ate food, went to different cultures.
See, that would be so
They
cool.
just
awesome
came
stuff.
out with
The traveling thing.
a documentary, The Traveling Man, I think it was called.
Yeah.
But a documentary on the life of Anthony Bourdain. I haven't watched it yet, but I was a huge
Be
fan
interesting.
of all of his shows.
I was late. Like, I didn't start watching any of those until after he was
Oh,
already
really?
dead. I started watching him after he died a few years ago.
No
And I was like,
Reservations,
I never
Parts
watched him.
Unknown.
Yeah.
What was the Layover or whatever it was called?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had like 3 or 4 different shows over like 15-year.
It was so interesting. I loved like the cultural aspect of it. Like
And that's
it
one
wasn't
of the-
just going to find like, hey, this kind of certain type of food. Of course, like traveling to the place, but then he'd go into like homes, like,
And it was-
hey, let's see how it really tastes, or like what it's really about.
It sounded like that was what it was more about for him.
Yeah.
Was the people he met.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's the food that is kind of native to the area, but it was, more about people for.
Yeah, interesting guy.
Yeah.
All right, I think you get the next one because that's
No,
another.
I did too.
I know, but
You
that's
do that one.
All right, number 4.
Yeah.
4.
Man, we're
Is that why you had 4?
4.
Golf.
only on 4.
We're on 4.
Usually sends groups out in 4. Name 4 people you would want to be stuck in Hawaii with. On a desert island? Is that what it
Dessert
said?
or desert?
Dessert has 2 S's the way you spelled it.
Oh, more S's. You're
My
right.
second grade teacher taught me you
You're
could tell
right.
the difference between dessert and desert because dessert has 2 S's like a double scoop of ice cream.
That's right.
I've
Nobody
always
would have
remembered.
known that though, and you had to go ahead and just point that out.
Yeah, sorry.
4 people or
4 people.
3
Well,
and me.
no, it's 4 because the
4.
question is 4. Yeah.
So, like in Hawaii, like a nice place, or like just some.
Yeah. That's the desert island question, right? You've
But
done
the Hawaii's not a deserted island.
But that's like
I
tourist
know,
trap.
but the whole idea is
So like a couple years ago when I took my niece there, it was right at the beginning of the pandemic, and we
Yeah,
were
you could have been stuck
watching TV, uncertain of whether or not we were going to be able to make it back to the mainland. And
Yeah.
she was saying, "I'll go back and work at this one store that I saw they were looking to hire people," and I'm like, "Well, I'll just use the rental car and drive Uber." But obviously, you two guys,
Oh, come on.
Besides us, Andy.
Besides us and
Luke Davey,
and you need to be truthful.
You've been there with Luke. You
Well,
didn't get
so
stuck.
he wants to go
it
back.
was easy. He's
okay.
he's laid back.
I know. So Luke, 3 more.
And he's also very competent. So if it is truly, if it's not like we're going to Oahu and this vacation land stranded, but if it's more like
Stuck,
stranded
shipwreck?
island, like
Yeah.
shipwreck,
Tom Hanks kind of style.
Luke
Yeah.
is very, very handy. And he can
'Cause those
hunt,
are
he
two
can build.
way different questions.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
it depends on what the question
I
is.
don't know. This was about
Stranded
dessert.
on a deserted island
Yeah.
or stuck on the island of
Stuck
Hawaii?
on Hawaii.
Okay.
Because I mean, you probably. I mean, if you're on a desert island, you probably want Gilligan with you because
Yeah.
and
No, he's
you
annoying.
want the
The comic
professor. You want the
relief.
professor.
I'd cut him up and feed him to sharks.
And you want the professor. So yeah, who do you want? You probably want So
So yeah,
let's
no,
just
seriously,
say Hawaii.
you too, because like you can't, you'd want to be around people all the time, and you want some alone time enough and
Who? What? Me?
balance, a good balance.
Who wants their alone time?
I think I do,
Yeah.
but
So you want to be with
So
us?
he's saying like part of the time he would like if we were there, but
Yeah.
most of the time he
I
probably
mean, if
wouldn't.
we're all
Right.
like,
Hey, it's time for you to have some alone time
Forced.
now.
I think when we have to get Kim Criggin to come so he can pay for everything.
Yeah.
dude, that's a great one. Yeah,
Have Kim
so
and
you
Andy
two,
argue.
Luke and King,
And Kim.
King,
Kim and
King
Andy
King.
could argue over.
No,
who's
I'm
gonna
at that point. I'm not arguing.
Yeah. But I thought this was more like fictional, like the high five question last
Yeah.
week. Like, or
Anybody-
not
well, you
not
can go
fictional,
anywhere.
but I
You
mean
can go
not like
anywhere with
personal. Yeah, I could.
Oh, you wanted like
Well, that's fine.
No,
You
I don't
answered
know.
the
It's
question.
his question.
okay, all right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
In my mind when I thought that's
were
what you
thinking
would
of,
go
like-
to, like Jesus and
Who's-
Paul and
Oh,
Martin Luther.
I don't know if I'll like most of those people. Jesus, I will. I
Whoa,
mean, Jesus
hey,
already
you said
with me.
most. You said most.
Jesus
Yeah.
is already with me.
Yeah.
So that's the free square in the middle.
Okay,
You don't-
so
Paul.
don't waste one of
I
your
don't know,
picks
'cause
on Jesus. Is that what you're saying,
It
Andy?
just seems like it would be just so much and so intense.
Yeah.
With Paul.
He'd make you feel guilty about just sitting around doing
I feel
nothing.
like that about Peter, but that's just because I feel like I'm just like Peter. So I think Peter and I would like eventually just like not do well. Too alike. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Probably
not my,
right.
not my interview. It's Andy's. Greg, where am I going next?
This is three. Number three.
3, really? God is 3 persons in one, Andy.
Yep. Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Okay. Name 3 bands people love but you can't stand.
People love.
Besides Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, people love them. I got one. I got an answer for this.
Well, what's
Sure you do.
What's that KBO K-pop crap?
BTS?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
See, I hate it.
so fun.
You love it.
No, I don't love it.
Light me up like dynamite. Is that maybe
is
because it was on like 5 commercials?
Yeah, they're
and,
everywhere.
You know, it's just so annoying. And
big
like
with the
honestly,
kids.
Korean people are kind of weird.
I don't know. Can you say that? I don't know if you can say
I'm
that.
saying
He
it.
can say it. We're
You
gonna
can't
leave
say
that.
that. I don't know if you could say that.
it, but I can't
Say that.
Oh,
Say it. We're gonna
I'm
leave
saying
that.
it. They're like Asian people are weird.
Man,
Yeah.
They're got to be the most
They-
popular band in the world, aren't they?
you're getting a little German.
I'm
You're getting a little German here, Schultz.
Getting a little schnitzel.
A little schnitzel.
You know, it's
All right,
funny
what was that
because
band's
it's
name?
like
BTS.
BTS. That's
There
right.
is it. There's one song that Evan likes. Is it Dynamite? I don't know. They're on a lot of like memes and dumb videos that
Right.
the kids watch. So
just because they're so
they're
corny.
huge.
Like they're
yeah.
just yeah. What's the
BTS.
the Canadian band that the
Nickelback.
Angels, yeah. So
Nickelback.
like it seems like everybody hates them, but not everybody can hate them for them to actually be have
Right.
a career.
They still sell records.
They sold
yeah.
like
Right.
30 million albums or something.
Yeah, and I don't. I mean, I don't like their music, but I don't get the
Yeah.
incredibly mass hate for the band.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, some of their songs are super cheesy, but I think they kind of play. At this point, they play into that
But
a little bit.
whose
maybe. I
pop
don't know.
music isn't cheesy?
Right. I know.
And now it's just become a kind of a running
It's
gag,
just a gag. Yeah. It's a
which
thing.
is hilarious that the Angels, everybody
Yeah.
came up to walk up music. Every bad had Nickelback songs.
Yeah. They still
That's
lost.
hilarious. They still lost. Well, I like the way you said that you sent me the Joe Madden Mohawk thing.
Yeah.
Where he shaved his head into Mohawks to kind of kill the losing streak, and then he got fired before he could reveal it to the team.
Yeah. That's harsh.
hilarious.
Although it would be way more harsh if it was anyone else, because Joe Madden does that stuff all the time. So it's not like a big, right? Isn't he famous for doing crazy stuff with his
Right.
team to try to?
And so
kinda
I don't
keep
know.
him
There had
loose
to
and-
there had to been something else going on for him to get fired.
Oh yeah, Artie Moreno, the owner. It's everybody else's fault but his, in his mind. Like he's a weirdo.
No.
Nickelback, 50 million albums sold.
Yeah, crazy.
Officially the 11th selling band in history.
11th, dude. They're on the verge of breaking top 10 biggest selling bands of all time. That's crazy. There is a funny comedy sketch. I forgot
They're
the
on the
guy's
list
name.
of most hated. Oh, wait, I don't want to look at the list because I got an answer to this. Go ahead. You're
I
on
forgot
there
the
too.
comedian's name.
Dave Chappelle.
No,
Oh.
but this guy, he was on Conan, and he has a whole bit on why do people hate Nickelback. Have
Yeah.
you seen that?
No.
It was floating around social media a couple years ago. No. I'm sorry. The whole bit was around Guy Fieri. It's like, why do people hate Guy Fieri?
People hate Guy Fieri?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh. Well, I mean,
but
owns
then
the Food
in that
Network.
bit, he mentions Nickelback, the same thing. He's like, but while I'm at it, what did Nickelback ever do? Yeah, I'm not a fan, but it is kind of, it's just a thing to make fun of.
this photograph. You know that song. It's a good song.
Yeah.
All right.
You sing it well too, Mike. Good job.
I wasn't a huge Kiss fan.
Ooh,
Oh.
I know somebody
expect you to go there.
upset by that.
That's fine.
My brother-in-law Joe is like the biggest Kiss fan ever.
Castro.
No,
Oh,
Servia.
Okay.
Elijah's. Did you meet Elijah?
Grateful Dead.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
got
Wasn't
that.
a huge fan.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't
It's like everybody's soloing all at once.
yeah.
Every person in the band is playing a solo. Let's just count it off, and everybody starts soloing. It's like, and they're
I've never
like,
got why that.
I don't
that
mind
was so
jam bands. Like each song is like 15 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I was a Dave Matthews fan. I'm sure that's a band that other people hate. That
They're on my list of like I don't get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
AC/DC, I can't stand that guy's voice. I hate it with a passion.
I like a couple songs, not like the band
Oh.
as a whole.
Thunderstruck
The
came
screeching
on a couple
of
weeks
that
ago.
voice, oh.
Riley said it sounds like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. She goes, it sounds like Stitch is singing.
No, you can't unsee that.
You can't unhear it once you. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to really get people upset. U2 is
U2.
Oh, I
I
knew
knew you were
it. I
gonna
knew it
say
was gonna
that.
come out of your mouth.
U2 is a great band, but I'm telling you, They've had you can't run into somebody. I'll just say this. You can't run into somebody who says they don't like U2. And that's that. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure.
No, there are a lot of people that don't like them.
Really? I've yet to run anyone that says
I'm not a huge fan.
Joshua Tree, great album. But they had some massive clunkers.
Yeah. Joshua Tree is one of the all-time great albums.
It is. It is.
I like
And the
a
one
handful of songs.
and that album that came out with the iPod.
Yeah, that's when
That's
people
a great
started.
album.
People really started hating them.
How to dismantle
Dismantle an
an
atomic
atomic
bomb.
bomb. Yeah, but then they literally
There was
released
like
one.
no, but there were like 2 tracks on it that were decent. The rest of them were
Yeah,
not.
they had Beautiful Day and the Catorta one.
Those Tres Couture.
Yeah, that one. But then they literally released an album to everybody who owned an Apple
Right.
product. Here you go. We're just gonna give you that.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
I thought it was cool, but a lot
And I
of people
like
got
Bono in
mad.
person.
Yeah.
Edge is a great guitar player. He has some of the most iconic sound for a guitar player.
I'm not saying I don't like them. I just think this is they're highs and they have really high highs and they have really low lows with their stuff. Next.
Greg.
Have you ever seen them live?
No.
They're really fun. They're good live. But partly because you know every single song that they're going to play. Even if you're not a fan. Like Jordan and I went a few years ago, and she had never seen them live, and she was saying, like, I know some of their songs, I feel like I'm not going to know a lot. And it's like, they play a song, and she's like, oh, this is you too. I didn't know them. I'm like, yeah, you know every song that they play.
People say Coldplay unbelievably live.
I saw them when
I've never seen him, but
Never seen them
Rush
live.
of Blood to the Head. They're like with clocks. So early on, that was like their second album, and they're kind of boring. Like I went with a bunch of friends
these
at
days
the
they
Hollywood
put on
Bowl,
an
and it was
awesome
like boring.
That's what everybody
live
says.
show.
My two of my sisters have seen them a couple times.
Like their movies that they made out of their live
Yeah.
shows.
Looks a
and
lot of fun.
Captivated.
Yeah.
We have a mutual friend that went to Chicago recently and saw him.
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago or something, right?
Might be in your baseball fantasy.
Really?
team. Yeah.
Who would
Big Coldplay fan.
Oh, I know. He went to Chicago. To
But
see?
I I tease them that they sound just like Snow Patrol.
Oh, I like Snow Patrol. Well, I like.
No, he's got a better. Chris Martin has a better voice.
They went like
And they're way
weren't
more
as good.
creative than Snow
Yeah.
Patrol.
that Snow Patrol album with. I can't even think of any of the songs. That's one of my favorite albums ever, though. The front of the CD had them in like the snow gear and stuff. Is that it? Do they do that on every CD?
I don't know.
Because I feel like the name Snow Patrol. That probably.
I think I can only think of one song. I get Snow Patrol. Do they do Chasing Cars? Is that
Yes.
Yeah.
That's on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a great album. Mm-hmm. Yeah. U2's had some clunkers. They've had some big ups and downs to me. But Joshua Tree,
Great
iconic.
album. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 2. What are 2 bucket list locations you've never been to?
Japan. I mean, I was in the Narita airport, but I never left the airport. But I'd love to go to Tokyo.
Yeah. I'd love to go. That'd be cool.
Well, the obvious one is one that I'm actually going to get to go to next spring is Korea with Kringen and my brother and Micah.
I hope they're not still angry at your comment about their
Yeah.
singing ability.
Exactly.
They'll get to the customs and they don't let me in.
Yeah, they don't let you in.
You're that guy,
Hilarious.
huh? Yeah.
That'd be an episode of Seinfeld. Sounds like an episode of Seinfeld.
Does not.
Which I'm surprised you didn't answer
Yeah.
for your band question. Like bands that you don't like.
Seinfeld?
Yeah.
It's not a band.
I know, but I'm surprised you didn't answer it
Oh,
with
I'm
Seinfeld.
too literal.
So. All right. Nope. See, my sister. Coldplay concerts, hands down, the best party to attend.
There we go.
Rainbow Hearts.
Yeah. Well, they do a big thing with color, like,
Yes.
Don't they do something with lights?
yeah, everyone got like a wristband, and then it was all synced. Like, I guess it's out of your control, which now I think about it, it's kind of creepy. They say, hey, put this on your wrist.
They did that
And we're
when
gonna
the
control
Vikings
you.
hosted the Super Bowl a
Yeah.
couple of years ago.
Yeah. They did the
They
Prince
did
tribute thing in all
the
purple.
the cups that my buddy Mike brought one home. But anytime something would happen for a specific team, it would flash the color of that team on the cup.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That is neat.
that's cool. There's a Coldplay
Why didn't they come
live
here?
concert is it on Amazon Prime? I want to say it's on Amazon Prime.
I don't know. It's probably
It's
the one
on
that I
one of those-
watched.
And it's
Is
like
it the
in
Buenos
Brazil.
Aires one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
it's crazy. 100,000 people in big old football or soccer, as you say here, soccer.
Yeah. Yep.
A soccer stadium. I don't know why I said football.
Football.
Because you were just talking about the Vikings. But anyway, that it? No. Wait.
That was two.
Number
What
one.
was your second one?
Korea and Japan.
Oh, Korea and Japan.
Tokyo.
Okay.
After
Number
I
one.
made fun of Asian people.
Name a time, Andy Schultz, that you experienced God do something that still amazes you to this day.
I know there's many. I just it's crazy that you can forget some of the most poignant moments in your life that at the time you're like, this is 100% obvious that God exists, evidence.
Mm.
But sitting here right now, it's hard to think of those things. And there's more, not just like a one-time thing moment. And it's never been like this is like drop out of the sky miracle. It's always like how he revealed himself through other people. Read the question again.
A time in your life when God did something that still amazes you to this day. I don't know, miracle type stuff, big moment, big, maybe it's through, seeing him work in someone else's life around you, seeing, a team on a mission trip or like something like that, something in ministry. Doesn't necessarily have to be something super personal, but.
Here it is. When I was in India, I brought a group of high school students over there. And there was 20 high school students and five other adults. Well, about halfway through, we were in the Andhra Pradesh region, which is the southeast, part of the. One day we took this really long road trip down to this boat that we took down the river towards the Indian Ocean, and we stayed overnight at this island. I'm sorry, that wasn't the location. One of the kids that was with. So what we were doing was we're going and visiting all these churches that this guy that connected to our church had planted, like 35 churches. And so our time, we spent like 2 weeks just visiting all these like 30 some different churches. And we went to this one church. I broke the group up into like teams of 5. And we went to this one church, and one of our guys had gotten sick. He had eaten something at one of the people's houses, because every village that we went to, you're invited to go in and eat. You got to eat all the food that's put in front of you. And I'll just say his name is Mike. That's his name. He ate something, and he got really sick. He started throwing up, started puking into the ravine that was kind of outside the front of the church. And we're up in the front singing songs with the people, sharing our testimony and translation, all this stuff. He never once got into the church, because by the time we got to church, he was already starting to get sick. I'm standing up front looking through the aisle of the church, through the door of the church, and he's, doubled over. It's hot. It's like 118 degrees, heat index.
Ugh.
And so we kind of get done with our thing. We're sort of wrapping up. I go out to go check on him. He's in the shade. He's like just white. And we decide that we should probably take him somewhere to get help. apparently we were like 2.5 hours away from Gunter, which is the biggest city near us with actual medical help. The closest place was about 40 minutes away, and they called it a hospital for the poor. And we sat there and deliberated with some people about what we should do. Should we take the time to go back there? Because he was fading fast. And this is my group of students, my responsibility, so I felt to make the call. We're going to this hospital for the poor. Well, one of the pastors from this church that we were at never met Mike, never met any of us. Mike was puking, diarrhea all over himself, and just basically like a lifeless skin suit. And this pastor rode 40-some minutes the whole way to this hospital with Mike, his head laying on his lap, wiping up his vomit, cleaning him up, just caring for him. And carried him into the hospital, laid him on this, basically it was just like this stone slab. And, it's like literally the hospital for poor. I had to go buy bags of IV. The doctor came in and said, yeah, he's dehydrated. And go to the store around the corner, buy 2 bags of IV. Because that's, there's a professional, he doesn't have any equipment. He just have to buy medicine. And we was behind them, ahead of us, and they just flipped it. I was in the car behind him, and by the time I got there, I walked into this little room, and I was swore Mike was dead. And went up the IV back and gave the IV to the doctor. And there was too many people there, so I just went out into the courtyard and started praying. I'm like, God, trying to make deals with God, all that kind of stuff. Thankfully, it was as easy to fix with IV. All he just needed was liquid IV. But this pastor always stuck out to me. He's such a humble, doesn't know Mike, doesn't know us, doesn't know our group, doesn't know anything. But he just jumped in and just served this situation, served Mike with no regard for anything. I just thought it was amazing. That was one of the most real pictures of Jesus.
Yeah.
Later on that trip with that island that we were talking about, we got there at night and it had just monsooned. It was pitch dark. You couldn't even see like this close your hand in front of your face. It was so dark. And we there, and there's one little tiny flashlight, some janky flashlight that they have in the middle of India that doesn't work very well. It's not like this. You realize you have to. And they said, don't worry about your bags. We'll carry your bags. Take your flip-flops off. Put your hand on the person's shoulder in front of you, and we're just going to kind of make like a little train. And we were walking in like the grossest, muckiest, slimiest. And we have never been there, so we don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
And we walk about a mile inland. And it's an island. So it's not a small island. It's a big island. But we walk, and you see this little tiny light in the distance. It kept getting bigger and kept getting bigger. And it was this church that they were leading us to. In this church, or a few of us in this church. Well, we get closer, and there are these two older ladies at the base of the steps of this church with buckets and rags. And one by one, they wiped and cleaned everybody's feet.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And I'm such a dork. I'm in the back. Like, dude, my feet are so ticklish. I don't know if I could do this. It was such a beautiful picture of, Jesus washing his disciples'
That's
feet.
neat.
Jesus, his pastor, just kind of wiping his grossness off of him. So that whole trip into India was just such a, anyway.
Yeah. No, that's good. It's amazing how maybe it's just mission trips like that, man. Like,
Go on a mission trip.
yeah, it's just so. we're out of our comfort zone. We don't have some of that. We take for granted all the stuff we have. Like we could just drive down the street to urgent care, and they're not going to tell you, hey, yeah, you got to go buy your own stuff somewhere. Like, we take all this for granted, and lights at night and all that. There's something about being on a trip like with a team where our eyes are just open. You just see God move and work. Yeah, that's cool. So you won't be going to get a pedicure anytime soon?
Ever.
No?
Ever.
Again? Would you go, Mike? Would you go get a pedicure?
No.
Wow.
My feet are so bad from running.
You should go to get a pedicure, man.
And so dry. And
Yeah,
not
you need
good.
it. That's why you need to go.
Not good.
It's that.
Yeah.
I've talked about my friend Tom before. Tom Sweeney out in California, manliest guy. Offensive lineman in college, big guy, like just manly man. And we used to do a week-long camping trip with middle schoolers at our church in California on the beach. Tom and a couple other dads would go and do all the food. And one night, the night before we were going to pack up and leave the next day, he's like, I can't wait to get home and go get a pedicure. And I started laughing. And I'm like, what? He goes, oh, I'm serious, man. He goes, oh, yeah.
It's funny.
That's the best secret women have going. He goes, you got to go.
With their bathrooms.
I'm like, well, if Tom says I should, then maybe I should try it. Like, dude, it's awesome. I've gone. Last time I went, it's been a couple years. Jordan and I went one time on an anniversary. Like, she wanted to go. I was like, yeah, let's go.
I'm just weird with feet. I can't.
Yeah.
They're
Dude,
ticklish.
no.
I can't like touch them. Yeah.
We'll go and then go watch Tom Cruise
That's
and
true.
Top Gun.
Yeah, I
if
think
you feel
I'll
feel
meet
like
you.
it's not manly to have
Yeah.
a pedicure, then we'll go.
No, it's not that.
like,
I don't want to
we'll
do
go
that. To a
axe
person.
throwing or something.
I don't
want to go
wanna-
fire, like do something with fire.
I
and
go up to
steak.
Target and you can throw axes and
Go like-
shoot a gun.
We go like
Which we still need to do that, by the way.
What,
Yeah.
that? Throw
Go up to
axes?
Target. No.
What?
Target
the
Sports, not
range.
the store.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, Target Sports.
Let's hold off
Since
on
you're not golfing anymore.
the platitude cliche thing for another time.
Unless you have one
'Cause
good one.
Okay, well, here's where it all got inspired. Well, first off, a few years ago, we did a sermon series called Say What.
Say what?
Say what?
No, I just came across that too.
Yeah, and it was all these Christian cliches that
I don't remember that.
we felt like are just not helpful and we should stop saying.
The things that aren't in the Bible, but people treat them like they're Bible
Oh.
verses. God never closed a door without opening a window,
Yeah.
or God doesn't
no.
give you more than you can handle.
Yep.
Right?
God helps those who help
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
Spare
Stuff like
the rod,
that.
spoil the child.
Yeah.
Is that one in there?
That's a Bible verse.
Is that a Bible verse?
I think it's used incorrectly.
Yeah. Is that a proverb?
I
Oh.
It's probably in Deuteronomy.
Let your conscience be your guide.
Yeah. But so I was watching
You do you.
you do.
YOLO? Is that it there?
YOLO. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it really was kind of came back from commercials. So I was watching a baseball game, and during the commercial, this one commercial came on, and it said, I want to get it right because I wrote it down wrong. I remember sharing this with you last week, and I actually said it wrong. And so the right way was, nothing is more daring than being true to yourself. How do you feel about
What's
that?
that even mean?
How do you feel about
Period.
that
Yeah, that's
statement?
kind of a word salad there.
Nothing is more daring than being true to yourself. How do you feel about that statement? Is it right? And then B, what do you think it's advertising? Mike, because Greg knows.
What's it, advertising?
Yeah, sure. Maybe answer that first.
And when was this commercial?
It's recently.
It's a recent.
Within,
It's currently airing.
was it airing in previous months?
No, it's currently on like right now.
Okay.
What do you mean previous months? I don't know how long it's been up.
Okay.
Like this moment, probably like someone just saw that.
Like right now.
Nothing is more daring
And
than
now.
Right now again.
true to yourself.
Oh, and now it happened
Yeah.
You know,
again.
it's probably either a cologne commercial because those are super weird. But
They're
that
so
seems
weird.
That seems a little odd for a baseball if you're watching baseball. So I'm gonna guess.
But it does sound like something Johnny Depp would say.
Yeah. Or I'm gonna guess then
Cologne
it's
commercial.
like probably something for like a truck, like a GMC Sierra or something.
Why GMC?
I don't know.
Are you a Ford guy?
Well,
Good
That-
guess.
you deserve this.
It
thing.
was for a beer commercial.
a beer.
Yeah. And so I
So,
just
like,
went on this little thing of hunting.
What? Oh yeah, it was like
Which beer? Miller Lite?
Una de Estrella.
Oh,
Oh,
It's a Mexican
Yeah.
beer.
okay.
I had a Mexican beer last weekend. I took a picture of it.
Was it Corona?
No,
Take a picture of your Corona.
no, it was my neighbor who's
Goodness.
Mexican, and they had a soda
Dos
for their,
Equis?
for their daughters.
Modelo.
Modelo.
No, the reason why I thought it was funny is because my name's kind
you
of
the most
Going down
interesting
all the-
man in
yeah,
the
I'm
world.
going through all the
Estrella.
commercials.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Estrella. Oh.
Estrella.
Dude,
means
that's the
star.
beer? Is that
Yeah, but you say double
Oh,
L's.
my
And yeah.
Estrella?
Estrella.
Estrella.
It's not Stella like your last name.
I know, but if you kind of move some things
Estella.
around, it could
Estella.
be. Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling you Mike Stella.
You get rid of the R, Estella.
Oh goodness.
It's star.
gracious.
That's the Spanish word
exactly
for
the
star,
brand of
Mike.
beer that is the commercial. is for.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I was nothing more daring than that. Right that moment,
Yeah.
I was true to myself, and I felt it. I felt I was being true to myself, and I had this Mexican beer.
I've never even heard of this.
Neither have I. Was
How
it good?
ironic is that, though?
It is funny. Was
That's
it good?
funny.
It was really good. I'll tell you what was good. It was tacos. So they're Mexican Americans, and their daughter graduated high school, and they had a lot of their family up, and they were just making made to order tacos
Yeah.
and handcrafted
Oh, yeah.
tortillas, and
Why
it
you should
was
have called me, man.
well. I wanted to enjoy it. There's only, I felt like we were kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I only hang out with you for
Whatever, Mike Stella.
So anyway, maybe
Anyway.
we'll table that conversation
Yeah.
for another day because we're running out of time. You need to go.
Let's table that conversation.
It's a
platitude I
cliche
don't
one
like.
right now.
But
Well, I don't know if I'll
Say it.
No.
Whet the appetite. Let's go. Let's hear it. We could discuss it later.
Thoughts and prayers.
there's a comedian.
Thoughts and prayers.
thoughts and
that I
Is that
think
too
is
controversial? That might be a little.
Yeah.
there's a comedian that I think is funny, but I don't want to
bet.
say his name. He's very. Do we use the term racy anymore? Is
Oh, I see what you
like I wouldn't promote watching his comedy stuff, but his special is called Thoughts and Prayers,
Oh.
where he's totally making fun of.
That one might be a little controversial. We have
Yeah.
to, we
Might
have to
be.
think about that one first.
Sending thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Are you sending prayers?
Can you send a prayer?
Well, the closely related, slightly less religious version of that is sending good vibes.
Good vibes, yes.
That one
vibes.
bothers me because it's
Good
like, what's that even
vibes.
mean? Like, so you're trying to say,
I never got your good vibes the other day, Greg.
like, I'm praying for you, but
said
you
you
don't
sent
want to
them.
say I'm praying for you because you don't want to say that. Like, what's that? Sending good vibes. Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Whatever.
Yeah.
That'll be the
That
next
one we need to
reading.
unpack, I think, just because it's not.
the
Unpack-
list-
we
the
need to
greatest
unpack
thing
is
you
a-
can do for somebody is pray for them.
Yeah.
The list has a mix of these commercial philosophies as well as some Christian cliches that we say may or may not be
Yeah.
rooted in. But I wanted to talk about them and then maybe find a theological debunk or connection that we can say this is why we would maybe
Hey.
try to make that leap and use that in our vernacular, or this is why we should stop saying it, or this is something we could say that's better than this.
There we go.
So maybe we kind of wait on that one.
People are going to come for good theology. I'm out.
Well, you guys are the only two that have been to seminary. I haven't even been to seminary.
Speaking of good theology,
mean
do we
so?
have the heretic fire yet?
Yeah. You went camping this week.
the
I was
bones
going to
fire.
ask you, did you have a bones fire?
That's a Saturday.
You throw,
This
no,
Saturdays when we have.
no,
Saturdays.
but I was going to ask you that. Where were you guys camping?
We were up at Father Hennepin, which is on Mille Lacs, and it was. I think we've come to the conclusion that we
Father
like
Hennepin a
we
heretic?
like the idea of camping more than we like camping.
The idea.
I came to that conclusion a long time ago
Because-
I used to go with a bunch of junior high kids.
Well, here's the thing.
like,
In
sounds
Minnesota,
great. Yeah.
we've camped out west. We've camped where there's no mosquitoes and
Yeah.
no humidity,
Yeah.
and it's enjoyable. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
The mosquitoes, and then there's like these army worms or caterpillars or something. I don't know what they are. They were literally dripping from the
Yeah.
tree. It's like it was raining.
Are they real fuzzy ones?
Yes.
They'll give you hives. Seriously. Like
I
if
don't know.
they,
They were
if they
gross.
fall on you, they
Yeah.
can give you hives.
Oh,
You get
it was
allergic
terrible.
Reaction to them.
Were you in a tent?
We were in a tent, and we had the dog.
Were you with a bunch of other people and like in this like ring of campsites?
Yeah, well,
I hate that kind of
a
stuff.
lot of them, I know. A lot of them was a state park. A lot of them had campers. We were with some friends. They had their 2 dogs, and the first time we camped with a
I
dog,
don't like camping with dogs.
it was tough. All right, news and events.
You can take off if you want. You can stay with.
Yeah,
but
I
if
should
you
probably
need
go.
to go. You can.
New sermon series this week.
New sermon series starts this week.
Is that on there?
called-
That's not on news and events.
Yeah, it's on the media page. You could go get all the sermon information for our summer sermon series called "Who Is God?" Knowing Him by Name. It's a sermon series on the names.
Look
of
who just
God.
showed up.
Who just showed up? Oh, my family's here.
Hey, family.
They're here to help set up VBS. Should we put them on the podcast?
Yeah, they didn't know you were here, huh? Busted.
One of the
He's supposed to
3
be
would
working.
love to be on the
She's getting
podcast.
so tall. What the heck?
So
One of
tall.
the 3. The other 2
so
would
tall.
run the opposite direction. You want to be on the podcast?
No, thank you.
Ooh, want a cupcake?
What? This sounds like the best trip ever.
She doesn't
Hey,
want to be
Cam.
on the podcast.
I'm going to go. I have to go back to work, so you can sit in for me.
We're just talking
They're doing
about
news
the
and events.
names of God and stuff. Yes.
Uh-oh.
I love how willing. Like, oh,
Don't let
all
them
right.
ask you any questions about me.
Okay. Now it's time to get to know Mike. See you, Mike.
Looks like Mom wants you to go.
Oh. She probably just thinks
You take your other cupcakes.
All right.
You got a whole thing of cupcakes you should take.
I'll take one.
Greg, you can now. I'm
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Cam.
Go ahead. There you go, Greg.
No, I want one.
Have one.
Cameron made those.
I know. I'm going to eat one. Do I have to eat it now?
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm
not.
sure. Thank you.
No, thanks. I've already had one.
Bye.
And you're not eating another? Should I know something? Thanks.
Remember Andy's story about India?
So I saw something. Where did I see this recently? They said to eat a cupcake, you take the top half off and then you flip it over and then eat it almost like a sandwich. So the frosting's in the middle. I'm going to try that.
That's a
Try
veteran
to
move.
do that.
I'm going to try.
All right, I should
While
probably
you
head.
do that, we say goodbye to Mike. Thanks,
Bye.
Mike.
Well, sermon series. Then what?
Yeah. Starting a new sermon series this weekend. There's going to be does 1 or 2. Mike is going to do 1 or 2. Greg, sounds like you're working on another booklet for this series. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. This weekend we'll have booklets for your own personal study and for those that are still doing small groups, if you want to use that. There's only a handful of small groups still going, right?
I want to challenge people.
Don't give that mic all dirty.
I rub my hands first.
Oh, is that the magic?
Yep,
cure-all?
it's a magic
Okay.
trick.
You want to challenge people?
I want to challenge people that, a lot of our small groups break for summer, look together socially or something like that. But as far as formal, like get together for studies, a lot of them take a break for the summer. So I want to challenge you, if you get a booklet, get a couple of neighbors. Hey, Mike, welcome back. What'd you leave? Sunglasses?
Sunglasses.
All right. Get some friends, maybe family. Maybe do like a weekly, like dedicated family devotional time around the sermon series. It's something that you could frame the discussion in a way that maybe you could talk to your kids. But I was just thinking of this earlier. Maybe it's a good time to reach a couple neighbors. Say, hey, come over. We'll grill one night and we're doing this sermon series at our church about the names of God, and it's pretty.
Right. You grilling? I'll come over.
I didn't say me personally.
Didn't
Like
you get
literally?
a new?
I did. I got a smoker.
Have you used it?
Yeah.
Is it good? Does it
A couple
cool?
times. I'm trying to get it down before I start sharing, because there's nothing. There are things worse than, but it's like I don't want to be the guy who's like, hey, I made this like awesome pulled pork or whatever in a smoker, and then give it to someone and they're like, yeah, it's not that good. So I want to make sure I know what I'm doing.
Well, I'm totally cool to being
Guinea pig.
a guinea pig.
All right.
And I won't completely judge you or tell you how to do
I
it
made
better.
something the other night. It was pork tenderloin on there. Is good.
Nice.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a little left. I'll bring some.
Yeah, I'll try.
Bring it tomorrow.
I'll give you my opinion.
Let me
You
finish
want,
my
you
cupcake.
want me to be nice or be honest?
Well, when you're honest, that's not nice. So,
Well, it could be. Unless, this is before I even test it out.
no, be honest.
Like Greg said, you go to the news and events page on our website or go to that section on our the Church Center app, and you get all this stuff. You click on things, and it'll bring you right to those different pages. In fact, if you click on that in our website, it'll bring you into Church Center
Yep.
right away. And
That
so
was
if you haven't
quality
yet
cupcake.
set up a Church Center profile, you should do that.
Yep.
You can do that on the desktop, or you can do it. The easiest way is just to download it from the App Store or the Google Play Store. So, do you want to talk about some of these events?
Well, let's see. What else we got? Trying to navigate the website.
Slightly, it's kind of been changed around a
A
little
little
bit.
different.
Yeah.
But, so probably the biggest one is we already mentioned the parade this Saturday. Rockin' Rogers actually kicks off tonight, the whole town festival.
Yes,
The carnival
with
opens tonight.
the
And
band.
Unicorn.
Unicorn, Rick Wald. Actually, Ricky
Ricky?
Wald.
Does he go by Ricky?
Well, as he was growing up, he was Ricky.
Oh, well, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
But were you Andy growing up?
Yeah, mostly.
And you're still Andy.
Schultze by my high school friends.
Really?
Schultze.
Were you ever Andrew?
No.
That's what you put on like Facebook and stuff. And I see Andrew,
Well, because I thought you were supposed to
Formal?
put in your, yeah.
like your parents or grandparents. No one ever said Andrew.
No, the only time I really got, never Andrew. And then some guys at Bethel called me AJ because it's Andrew James.
Oh.
And that was weird. Yeah, Bjorn
AJ Schultz sounds
Bjorn
like
Olsen. You'd call me AJ all the time.
AJ Schultz is like
Nice. Only one of them is longer, Bo Schultz. He's a pitcher for Royals. And then there was another Schultz. I can't think of who that was, but I don't think there's any current active.
And the only AJ I could think of is Pierzynski, which is probably not that great. He's kind of a
AJ Menendez.
unlikable guy.
Melendez.
Oh, Melendez?
Yeah, for the catcher for the Royals. Yeah. Not too many people. So Rockin' Rogers
Oh yeah,
parade.
the carnival part tonight, and then the band.
Already gone
Rick's
into
band's
sugar
playing.
cone with that cupcake.
I'm already gone.
Yeah.
That was good. But yes, we have the parade, and there's ways to serve on Saturday with that. Whether you want to walk in the parade, which, by the way, my daughter's walking with her dance team. The
So
boys
you have to go walk with them? Or
No,
you can
but-
just drop her off with
Yeah,
the dance team.
yeah.
Okay.
The boys weren't really into walking until I told them that, you know what, this year we're doing handout stuff, but we'll still have little handouts for dogs.
Because the Snoop.
And both boys were immediately in. Because
So can you bring
anytime they get
dog
to
and
see a
walk
dog,
with?
yeah, sure,
You can bring.
Why not? Bring dogs.
Yeah.
So we got things to pass out
Mine
to
would
dogs.
freak out
Yeah, so would mine.
and
Yeah,
around.
we're not bringing ours. He's no spaz.
Okay.
No. So anyway,
So you can walk along, not ride.
you can
You
walk,
can-
and it's not a long walk. I mean, it basically goes down Main Street, that
hooks a
by
right.
Wells Fargo,
Yep.
and it ends. It crosses over 81. It ends in the parking lot by True Value in Guadalajara.
Yep.
Restaurant.
But then they got to circle back around.
Yeah, well, either someone could leave a car down there and get, for later, get picked up, or
Okay.
Usually
Or you
people
just go to
jump
lunch.
on the
Just
float
go to
and
lunch
come
at
back.
Guadalajara.
Yeah.
They'll love it.
Hang out at CVS.
Yep.
Whatever.
Go see Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone pop in at the same.
Super spreader event.
The other big one is VBS. Andy.
Yes.
We could probably use help Sunday after services with some setup, I'm guessing.
Are they still waiting for more kids to get signed up?
I think so.
So
I
if
think
you
there's
haven't
room
signed up for
kids.
VBS, get your kids signed up.
Yeah.
Get their friends, have them invite their friends.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any intentions or any interest, just go ahead and do that now.
Yeah.
Because it really helps their team know how many they're going to have. as we put together crews and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think if the easiest way to sign up for that is if you go to probably the kids ministry page, ministries kids, because there's going to be VBS stuff there. You scroll down a little bit, you'll see the big monumental VBS theme. And you click one link if you got elementary age kids. That's kids that just finished kindergarten up through just finished 5th grade. Or the other link, we got preschool VBS going at the same time this year. In years past, preschoolers were in the afternoon, but this one is during the day also. So the elementary kids are 9 to noon, Monday through Friday, and then for the preschoolers, they're 10 to noon.
so when I go to the kids ministry page from the news and events area, and I click on that, it as under the events, VBS doesn't show up.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's why I was saying maybe go to the,
Yeah, for now, just go to the kids ministry page.
yeah, we'll have to fix that.
We'll figure out why the VBS is not showing up
Yeah.
as an event, because that means it's also
Well, you have
not
to click
showing up
view
as.
all. I think it's just.
I know.
shows
I
the
clicked
next
on view all. It
3.
goes to July.
Oh, wow, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But go to the kids ministry page. Yep.
Figuring out the quirks of the new planning center,
Yep.
church center stuff. So, yeah, I mean, there's other events happening. Those are probably the 2 big ones right now. The last couple of weeks, we've had some big, we had the Celebration Sunday a couple weeks ago, and the picnic and baptism, which was great. We had the annual meeting this past Sunday, which was a lot of fun and great. And so now we got summer stuff coming up. Church camp out. There's spots for that. Sign up for that.
It's
You
in-
got to register. It's in
it's in August.
and it's
Baker.
Baker Park. If you go to the news and events page and just kind of scroll down on that page on our website, you'll see that. It's kind of a patchwork looking
Like a quilt,
graphic, like a quilt.
like Erwin McManus's
And,
sweater.
Yep.
Or-
And August 18 to 21. It's like 4 days. You can go Thursday through Sunday.
Yep, and you can share your campsite with another family.
Mm-hmm.
So you could find your good friend, whatever.
Mike, who doesn't like camping now.
Yes.
Yeah. Invite him. Call his
He
bluff.
has a hard time saying no.
Call his bluff. Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't ask
Yeah.
me.
Hey, Mike, can you come set up our tent for us and cook for us? And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love camp cooking.
Yeah. I'm with them. I discovered that years ago. I like the idea of camping way more than I like camping. And I think camping with a whole bunch of junior high kids definitely ruined it. So,
Yeah, if
But-
you have too many.
yeah.
I mean, I've taken groups out to the Boundary Waters, and I had my own tent. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
I used to sleep in the back of my Honda Element. It was awesome.
All right. Anything else, Greg?
There's things and such. Look at the news and events page. Check out if you're on our email list, if you're part of Northridge, if you would like to get weekly emails, updates of things going on, email office@nrf.life and make sure that you're receiving that. If you used to receive those, by the way, and for some reason you're not all of a sudden, check your junk email folder or junk, what do you call that thing? Filter. Because we did transition over a couple of weeks ago to a new church management software. And it's some people have been getting emails sent to their junk folder. So
Yeah, even me.
yeah, staff, we all were at first. But so check your junk folder and check your preferences and add us as a contact and all that
Sometimes
stuff.
even
Whatever you need
you
to
don't
do.
have to go that far on the if you find one of them in your junk email
Mm-hmm.
folder, there should be a link that says trust this email or
Yep.
move it to my inbox
Yeah.
and trust this sender or whatever it is.
Yep.
And then that'll take care of it from that point on.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, I know there's been quite a few people have been missing emails. So
yeah.
yeah,
That
I
it?
mean, you know what? We got a symbolic kind of end of the construction stuff happening this week because today, I don't know if it's gone yet, but today the big storage bin out in the parking lot is supposed to be picked up in
Okay.
Hallway, and tomorrow the big
dumpster.
construction dumpster is supposed to be hauled off. So it's like,
So that's kind of like the
Yeah.
official finish of all this
it's
stuff.
kind of like,
Not including the parking lot.
yeah, well, that's maybe, to come in the future, hopefully in the near future, but,
Yep.
And some landscaping and stuff like that. But as far as like the new build, the construction and stuff, it's kind of like a symbolic thing. Like the dumpsters are leaving,
Yeah.
storage bin's empty.
I love on
and,
Sunday how Ben's like, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. 'Cause we're done.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done with the new
Yeah.
new edition.
Yeah.
That was the final phase.
That was the original boys band.
The new edition.
Yeah, new edition.
I don't-
Mr. Telephone Man, come on, the '80s, Mr. Telephone.
I probably know. Yeah, I probably know the song. better.
What was Bobby Brown?
Oh,
Bobby
that was
Brown
Bobby
started-
Brown.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Belle Biv DeVoe, I think, started in there. Bobby Brown, and those
New
three
edition.
guys, maybe. Yeah,
Wow.
I could be getting
One-hit
the
wonders?
Belle Biv DeVoe part wrong, but I think they started in there.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Before we go, I'm going to just say thank you to everybody who was at the annual meeting
yeah,
and everybody who is just part of this church family.
yeah,
I mean, it's a job for Greg and I, but I feel comfortable speaking for Greg. This is not about money. It's not about getting paid to do this, but the fact that we are here and we are doing this, it's a privilege, and to be able to do it with you, and to try to move forward together with whatever is put in front of us. It's a pandemic. Great, we'll figure it out. Things are going well. Awesome, but we need to keep moving forward and seeking God, even when things are going well. Every year we get to the annual meeting, and I have this incredible sense of this is a group of people who are seeking to do things together in unity. We might not always agree on everything. That's probably good. We need that challenge of ideas, and we welcome that, not only from us as a staff, but from the people that were here at the meeting. There was this openness to, that's something new that's being introduced to my brain, but I'm not gonna reject it. I'm gonna think about it, and I'm gonna throw something else out there of my thoughts, and we're just gonna all wrestle with this together. And it was really cool. And they're always more fun than you'd think they would be.
yeah.
And so thank you to people who are here. Thank you to each of you who consider yourself a Northridge, part of the Northridge family. And can't wait to see what happens this coming year. Anything, Greg?
No, I
Anything to
agree
add?
with all that. That was great.
All right. That's it.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. Hope you have a great rest of the week. Come and join us on the parade on Saturday, and hope to see you this weekend at the services. Have a good one.
See ya.